Hi everyone, this is Dov Hershkovitz. I'm here with Sanjun Park, and this is 1611 Pipeline Authoring Kickoff video. As always, we do have a planning issue number 124, underneath the Pipeline Authoring group. So the goals of the milestone is similar to last milestone goals. We first want to continue working on completing the CI/CD catalog, go to GA Epic. Our plan, our due date for announcing the catalog to become GA is 17.0. So we still have some work left in that epic. We now have two main goals to complete. We had three, so now we have only two. And the first one is to support self-managed components. So we want to allow our self-managed users to use the components that exist in .com. And to do that, we have some implementation work that needs to be done and some documentation work which will explain the users how they can leverage and use the components that are on .com. And the second thing is about the inputs enhancement. We still, as I mentioned, we still want to introduce the input interpolation with arrays, basically support arrays with inputs. This will also fix one of the critical bugs that we have, which prevents inputs from moving to GA. And once we move inputs to GA, hopefully in 16.11, by the end of 16.11, we'll be able to communicate and move the catalog to GA at 17.0. Along with that, we will continue working on the UX improvement on the details page, adding badges to the components, as I explained in the previous recording. And lastly, we'll starting to pick up the work on step. So basically, step is a way to execute scripts on GitLab Runner and be able to package them underneath some sort of an entity that is being called a step. And we want to allow user to define a step inside their syntax, inside the GitLab CI YAML file. And then with that, users will be able to, first of all, composite as a job using multiple steps, and also reuse steps in multiple jobs across the pipeline. So there is a full-blown epic. I think it's in experimental right now, but our team is now working on adding the syntax to GitLab CI YAML file, so users will be able to actually start using and leveraging steps. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to, yes, and of course, the full scope of the milestone is available in the table below. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Sanjun, and Sanjun is going to speak about the scope of work for 16.11.
Sure. Thanks, Dov. Let me share my screen again. All right. So there are lots of items for 16.11 that we want to focus our time and effort on running the design sprint. So this design sprint, we wanted to focus on how we are going to show the metrics or any data around the usage of CI components once our users release their CI components to the CI/CD catalog. So the remote design sprint will be spread into 4 different days, a little bit of async and synchronous collaboration, mostly focusing on the brainstorming and sketching, and then group designing session in the end. So after this design sprint session, we'll have probably very low fidelity of wireframe. Okay, this is what we want to do. And as a next step, as a designer, I'm going to make this prototype with a more high fidelity prototype and make it more clickable. And it goes to the next step of solution validation. So we are planned to invite a couple of users and customers to our interview session, and then we're going to validate if this design or user flow works well, but it's aligned with their expectation or not. So it's basically most of the plan for the 16.11 for the UX. And the other items that I still like to tackle is also this one. So for this one, like we started to wrapping up the problem validation research around this. So based on focusing the maintainers who are maintaining their components, and we want to provide better user experience for the CI/CD catalog maintenance experience and also admin experience. So you can check a lot of context and details here. And based on this work, you can expect a couple of user flow kind of total overview. And then the next step would be the design and prototype and the usual design process that you can imagine. And there will be one design discussion synchronous session in 16.11 so that all the team members, including outside of the pipeline authoring team members, if they're interested in, you're welcome to join the design discussion, and then we can also brainstorm there. Yeah, do you want to add anything, Dove, other than this?
So yeah, thank you for this update. This work will carry us over post-GA. So this will be a part of our long-term roadmap on how we can monetize and add paid capabilities and add values to our users that are using the catalog. And of course, we'll update this as we go once we'll complete the design sprint and we have like a solution so we can set some timeline on when we'll be able to complete and implement this work and how to include it as a part of our long-term roadmap. Yeah, so thanks for providing this this information. With that, I think we can wrap up the recording. Thanks everyone for joining. Hopefully it was useful to you.